Morning traders, and this is your Aussie review for today, South African top 40. So we're still very much in this confused state at the moment. So we did get a move to the downside. We'll check now whether the targets were hit. I don't think the targets were hit spot on, but we are still bouncing off this 200 daily SMA, and look at the oscillators indicating very much in overbought territory. Okay, so we also are below this sort of double bottom area here, although we've closed just above it, but very difficult to say whether that's a rejection of that level or whether it is a break of that level. So it's not really clear, so I wouldn't worry too much about it at the moment. So you can see there is our shoulder, head, shoulder, and now we're sort of hovering on it. And I don't think the target was met, if I remember correct. No. Okay, so yeah, is this a retest of the break? Okay, and I think on the hour you're going to see this a lot clearer. Yeah, there's our head and shoulders there. A breakthrough, bit of a retest, and then that didn't work out, and then still back. Moving averages are still not pointing down, but they are flat. A bit of confusion, and this bottom trend line is obviously driving everything at the moment. Okay, so you can see there's our trend line. There's 3 touches on that now. So with that brings us to a fairly decent structure, bit of structure at the moment. And this trend line at the bottom is definitely something that we need to worry about, or not worry about, but to watch, because a break below this is going to indicate a move to the downside, and then this head and shoulders will play out. If you look at the 15 or the 12 minutes at the moment, you can see how this break to the downside, you can see how everything started grouping, deviation from the moving averages. Gave you the warning that this trend line was going to hold up price. It's exactly what happened, and then back we went. But we've been moving sideways for most of the day. So I would kind of do this. So a decent close above 48,415 would probably interest me, because then the head and shoulders will more than likely fail. Okay, and then this trend line break here, which is fairly strong, because you can see tested, broke, came to test the break, and then rallied. Okay, so then this trend line break is the one that's going to play out. Okay, so fairly, I won't say difficult, but the low of yesterday is the line in the sand at the moment. So we could still swing below the low of yesterday and the high, not the early opening high, but the midday high of yesterday. So that is pretty much the structure that I can see at the moment. So we have broken through, sort of a daily trend line, but then we have found support on an intraday trend line, and then we found support on a daily trend line. It's kind of a mixed bag at the moment, but I would definitely be looking. I'm not sure whether I want to use this area here. I think what will help is, let's just have a look at the Bill Williams alligator at the moment. So if we look at this on the 12-minute, there's no real trade here. Okay, so you can see it's flat. You can see the oscillator is flat as well. So no real trend. We are moving sideways. And even if we go to the hour as well, hour is a bit of a trend change, but we're flat again. Okay, oscillator is below the center line, which is indicating this is, look, we should be looking for shorts here. But if you're looking at the Bill Williams strategy, you'd be looking for a break of this fractal. So these two fractals here, and let's see if they tie up in the half hour. They do. And let's see if they tie up here. Okay, so let's come back to there. Right, so that's not going to work. So there's our line in the sand, the upside. Okay, so that's still the midday high, but you can just fine tune this. This fractal here is probably a little bit more relevant. Okay, this would be the ultimate fractal to break, because if this fractal breaks here, then that would be the upward trend line that breaks. Okay, so for intraday setup for today, this is what you are looking at. I think this one here is the critical one, which has been broken and retested. Okay, so there is your structure. Okay, so trend line is broken and retested, so I would almost assume another move to the upside, probably to 49,500. After that, expect some kind of a pullback, and we just stay in this channel. If we break out of this channel, we still need to get below that level there for the short to be on, and that's 48,970. No, 48,965. Just to be safe. So 48,965. Decent break below that. That's going to give us move to the downside, because that breaks the upward trend line on the daily. But at this stage, if I look at what's going on, 10 cents up 0.7%, and rand dollar 14.63. So not much change there. Futures market all over the place is slightly, well, more flat than up, I would say. And only Hang Seng, China and Japan are up over 1% at the moment. Okay, so that's kind of my view this morning. Watch a break of this level, because that's going to indicate a fairly fairly strong move to the upside. But this channel here will more than likely hold at the moment, I think. So even if we do get up above this break, you're going to find us, if you look to the left, there's probably there's a couple of levels here. Okay, so you can see quite a few levels here. So move to the upside, I would expect sellers to step in again, which is off the top of the channel, move to the downside, and then long again. Okay, but everything's flat at the moment, so there's no real direction at the moment. And I just want to see if our closing range strategy is starting to play out again. Yeah, so okay. And this side we didn't break above it there. That was the top was up there. Yeah, okay. The closing range would have worked out. So you probably find that that's starting to come back into play now. But I think yesterday's closing range is very small. Okay. So yeah, so guys, it's a bit of a mixed bag, I think. And there is sort of another trend line that we're flirting with now as well. So here's another one here. And here is another one there, which we've broken through. But if I move it to there, that's another trend line. Okay, so there's still quite a bit of work to be done for this thing to move to the upside. So whatever you do, be cautious. Break below this fractal here, 49,140. That would be my stop level for any longs. Okay, just try to keep that stop fairly tight. So if it does bounce back, We're not going to be trapped, but the real line in the sand to the downside is definitely this level here, which lines up with the 30-minute 200 EMA. Okay, so that's 48,967, 48,965. That's the level that we need to worry about. Okay, so for now, hard to say, but it is kind of looking, we are making higher lows, so it is kind of looking like a break to the upside. So just wait. I would wait for a break of that fractal there, and then a bounce back to come and test the break, and then get in for the long. Alternatively, if we break this fractal here, 48,140, I'd look for a short, but only down to, I don't even think I'd go that far because the diagonal trend line is there. So that's kind of the setup that we have at the moment. Proceed with caution, but I do suspect we're looking at longs. To be honest, I think this head and shoulder is going to fail. Okay, anyway guys, long-winded this morning, but lots of confusion on the markets. My bias is to the upside, but watch this trend line at the bottom here, because that seems to be fairly strong at the moment. Okay, there it is. There's 3 touches. So even if we do get back in this area, I suspect buyers stepping in again. Okay, and the other thing, last thing to point out here, is we have a little bit of structure here. Just going to ignore those 2 tails to the upside for now, but there's our structure, and it's off the 300-200 EMA, sorry, the 3-hour 200 EMA. Okay, so that structure does give us a fairly strong measured move, something like that. Okay, and your higher time frames are sort of lining up to indicate that is what's going to happen. Okay, we've got a little bit of divergence here as well. So it's kind of a double bottom, but it's a low, higher low. So sort of diversion that's on the 3-hour. So yeah, for any break to the upside is going to be strong. I think you should sort of bounce off this area down, another opportunity to get long, and then you should be able to wait for the measured move. And that measured move is 54.61. Okay, break below the low of yesterday is all bets are off, and then you're looking for shorts. Okay, here we go. That's it for me today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.